Hi everyone, it's your buddy, it's your pal. I'm Karnak, and this is Star Wars Armada Explained. As you may hear and see, I have a new headset. My old one, unfortunately, was starting to kick the bucket. Finally got my new one. I think it sounds great. Let's dive into just a very short video today. It's all I have time for, very busy. We're going to look at point defense ion cannon. So this comes in the Maleficent? Providence. Jeez, I don't know where I got Maleficent. Anyway, Providence expansion. As you can see there's a Providence on there. Very cool card. So point defense ion cannons, I think, is such. I mean, it's a good card. It is a good card. It just is great for large ships against squadrons. Why is that? Let's get into it. So point defense ion cannons, you'll see there's no dot or bullet point in front of it, signifies it's not unique, meaning you can equip one of these cards to each one of your ships that's capable of taking the ion cannons upgrade slot, which you can see there in the bottom left-hand corner. You see the little ion cannon there. Opposite of that, you'll see its point cost. Only 4 points for essentially what is a close range evade effect for free, and you'll start to see why this gets to be so good. So it does have a restriction on it. It says non-huge ship only, which currently the only huge ship in the game is the Superstar Destroyer, which rightfully, if this card could be equipped on a Superstar Destroyer, just squadrons would just have. I mean, it just would make it more of a monster than it already is. So yeah, you can equip it pretty much on everything that's not a Superstar Destroyer. Card text, very simple. While defending at close range or distance 1, during the spend defense token step, you may force the attacker to reroll 1 die of your choice. That's it. Simple, straightforward, to the point. Fantastic ability for 4 points to pretty much just go tell squadrons, hey, re-roll every single one of your attacks that you ever make. Oh, you rolled a double? Nah, re-roll that. Let's see what else you can get. So it's just makes them tankier against squadrons, and you don't have to spend an evade token to accomplish that. So it's just more flexibility, more options. That's pretty much the card. So again, you can only use this in attacks. Because again, there it specifies during the spend defense token step. So one thing again that I want to mention is that this can't be used on effects. Like for example, if your ship runs over a proximity mine and that proximity mine rolls, its 2 blue die, if it's a double hit on that, you can't say, oh, re-roll 1, because again, that's an effect. You're just rolling die to determine a result. Compared to point defense ion cannons can only be used in attack during a spend defense token step, because that's the only time that step appears is in an attack where the attacker is declaring a target, and then the attacker is gathering die and then rolling that die and then modifying that die, and then the defender in the spend defense token step can do things, and that's when this card takes place. So again, only for attacks can you utilize this card. You can't use it against card effects, again, like proximity mines. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. And again, just because I have to make sure I mention it, again, this card can only be used at close range or distance 1. It can't be used at medium range. It can't be used at distance 3 or 4 or 5. Only close range or distance 1. I know some of you might be saying, well, isn't distance 1 within close range? Like, why is it specified for both? Just because people would then ask, like, the question of, oh, it says close range, but it doesn't say distance 1. So they have to specify both distance bands, just because if somebody will always point out, oh, it says 1, but not the other. So therefore, if I attack at distance 1, that's not close range. So that's why it says that. So again, you can only use it in a spend defense token step. You can not use it outside of close range or distance 1. It can only be used on dice used in an attack, but not dice rolled by an effect. Just so you know, a point defense ion cannon cannot reroll a die that Lando Calrissian, the squadron, when he modifies that die and sets it to a face, that die can't be modified again, which rerolling is a modifier. So make sure I'm pointing that out. The final thing, and I still see this with every single time I just get this question all the time, is that again, if you re-roll a die, like a blue or a red die, say it was like a double hit or a single hit or whatever, and you reroll that die, if an accuracy icon pops up, the attacker cannot spend or utilize that die in any capacity unless there's some card effect that specifically states otherwise. Because you're in the spend defense token step, the attacker in the modify die step, which is the only time you can spend accuracies to lock defense tokens, that's the only time you can resolve the accuracy effect for that. So I've seen some players like, oh, I rolled accuracy and now I lock your defense token. Like, wait, I thought it was my turn, you know? So it's once you've gotten to spend defense token step, it's the defender's time to do things unless the attacker specifically has things that can interrupt it. So the thing I want to point out with that, though, is that if a ship does have SW7 ion batteries, which is, you know, if any unspent blue die accuracies are left in the attack pool, those are, you know, if you re-roll a blue die and it goes from like a single hit to a blue accuracy and they have this upgrade card equipped, that's still a damage for them. You know, it is an unspent blue die. Okay, that's everything. I've already made the video longer than I think it should be. Of course, if you got any questions, concerns, tell me some things that you've seen point defense ion cannons do to help you out in terms of like maybe your list builds or what have you. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you next time.